Bill Barr, on the president's behalf, is weaponizing the Justice Department to go after the president's enemies. When you win an election, you don't seek to just prosecute the losing side.
The president using the Justice Department as a weapon to get what he wants.
Department of Justice is totally politicized.
Sticking the Department of Justice on political opponents.
Threatening to imprison his political rival, Banana Republic style.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. Guys, so I was talking a couple of days ago in the chat in one of our videos, and one of you guys had a really fantastic idea of doing a video showing Rachel Maddow all giggly and excited, talking about Jack Smith going to the Supreme Court about Trump's immunity. And then compare that with her reaction to the court telling the government to pound sand. And that is a great idea. And I am working on that. Christmas got in the way, a lot of family stuff, a lot of holiday stuff. But in all of my watching and researching of all things Maddow, which please, no matter what site you're on, please at home, do not do that. It is not good for you. I do not recommend it. But I'm glad I did, because I found something pretty darn amazing. And I think probably the most shining example of liberal hypocrisy that I have ever seen. And I think it explains and really shows everything that we've been witnessing and we've been subjected to for years. And I know we have some really dedicated leftist apologists in our chat here, and I really do appreciate you guys. Always a good time. I appreciate our conversations, always entertaining, always enlightening. But I promise you, there is no chance, zero chance that you can explain the clip I'm about to show you. But before I roll this, guys, if you haven't already, help us to continue to grow. Going into 2024, man, it's going to be harder and harder to get conservative voices heard. So we're going to have to do this together, guys. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. Guys, especially this video. Share this video, because this one might actually wake a few people up.
Now that he's got the right attorney general in position to do it, we now know they really have been trying to gin up criminal prosecutions and criminal investigations into the president's perceived enemies, politically motivated persecution, right? Courtesy of Bill Barr. I'll roll in the FBI on you. That's how Banana Republics work, right?
The home of the 45th president of the United States has been raided by the FBI.
Mr. Trump is using the Justice Department to go after his perceived enemies. I feel worried about the prospect of the Justice Department being used as a tool of this president or any. In our little banana republic, any capable prosecutor can get a grand jury to hand down an indictment of something as innocent as a ham sandwich.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump.
Breaking news on former President Trump. He's been indicted for the fourth time in 5 months.
Bill Barr, on the president's behalf, is weaponizing the Justice Department to go after the president's enemies. When you win an election, you don't seek to just prosecute the losing side.
The president using the Justice Department as a weapon to get what he wants.
Department of Justice is totally politicized.
Sticking the Department of Justice on political opponents.
Threatening to imprison his political rival, Banana Republic style.
Trying to exact revenge against all of his enemies. Tin pot dictator in a banana republic.
Is acting more like a banana republic dictator.
He's using government resources to go after his political opponent.
Essentially, we are a banana republic. That we are seeking to have a bogus and criminal investigation into a political opponent.
And that's using the Department of Justice to also target Trump's political opponent for nefarious reasons. This is a massive abuse of power and a betrayal of our values.
The President of the United States is targeting a family member of a political opponent. This is the type of thing that happens in a banana republic.
And trying to take out a political rival in Joe Biden.
Criminally investigating an American political rival, someone the president is worried about losing to in the next election.
To investigate my principal opponent or a principal opponent in the upcoming election. Houston, we have a problem.
Don't you think that's something that should be investigated when the incumbent political party opens a counterintelligence investigation on the candidate of the opposing party?
We know Trump is itching to politicize the Justice Department, and the Attorney General has been super shady.
The president is weaponizing the Department of Justice to bring cases against his enemies. The Department of Justice is in an existential crisis.
Again, it's yet another example of the Justice Department basically losing all of its independence in this administration.
This is now about corrupting the next election. And for me, this was crossing the red line.
A president who is actively trying to potentially steal the upcoming election.
But to try to take out a political rival.
The end goal being 2020.
Donald Trump and his attorney general are using the Justice Department. The only difference between this and a banana republic is that Trump does not eat fruit.
The 2020 election is really the last chance we have to stop our system from fully sliding into a corrupt banana republic.
Bill Barr has done everything that Donald Trump has wanted him to do.
Yeah.
We're living in a banana republic right now.
When you start using the Justice Department to go after your enemies, that's very, very dangerous.
Donald Trump is using the Department of Justice to go after his enemies in any way that he can.
Having the head of the chief federal law enforcement agency essentially working on his behalf to investigate a political rival.
To investigate the family of a political opponent. Basically, banana republic behavior.
We're no better than some, some banana republic.
And is using the abuse of power and every element of the presidency to try to do something to smear me. We just have to demonstrate that he will not take power.
Yeah, so guys, you see that. I mean, what do you even say to that? Except that the guys over at Grabian, man, they really are incredible. I don't understand how anyone could have the aptitude to remember all that stuff, compile it, and do it all without driving themselves completely insane. That was really well done. So just look at what that was. That was basically the entirety of the American media, including all the half-baked, used to be funny, some of them comics that have absolutely ruined late night TV. Thank God I'm old and I really don't stay up late anymore because they're terrible. But all of them were there on that video completely losing their collective minds, because this is what it is. It's a collective mind. Anytime it looked like any Democrat anywhere for any reason was facing even the possibility of accountability or even a scandal, anytime anyone said anything, someone somewhere would put out the next in sync talking point, weaponization of government this, Bill Barr that, banana republic, basically on a broken record. And really, basically anything that anyone who's actually understanding what's happening right now with President Trump is completely justified in saying. But here's the interesting thing. It's actually not interesting, but here, this shows you everything that they're about, how disingenuous they are and how fraudulent the whole thing is. If the media was so terrified by banana republic type behaviors, offended by government agencies being weaponized, especially against a political rival, if they really did fear this fabricated authoritarian Trump that they concocted and they manufactured and they beat us over the head with, then how are they so eerily silent? If any of that was legitimate, how are they so silent now? Literally, now that everything that they said was going to happen is actually happening. They're silent. They told us that Donald Trump was going to start World War III. Well, he didn't. Didn't even come close. And now, right now, today, we're closer than we have ever been as a society, as a human race. And they're silent. They're actually worse than silent. They're pounding the war drum. They told us that Donald Trump was going to tank the economy. Well, he didn't. Not even through a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic or whatever they call it. Now it's as bad as it can possibly get in almost every single measurable way. And they're worse than silent again. They're actually telling us it's amazing. It's the best we've ever been. Don't you worry about eggs and gas and, your mortgage. This is the best we've ever done. This is the best you're ever going to get. And, then there's this. They told us that if we don't turn away from Republican authoritarianism right now, then we're going to become a banana republic. And now we're about a stone's throw from actually becoming one. When you see it laid out like that, when you understand what's going on, it's amazing. It's more than amazing. It's depressing. This is very, very depressing stuff when you see it laid out like that. But for anyone who's really not found their way to paying attention, here's what we have. They were screaming about a weaponized government, and they were screaming about authoritarian rule when it was Republicans. And now, a few years later, we've even got an all-Democrat state Supreme Court removing a Republican candidate from the ballot, alleging a crime that only happened on MSNBC. And they all clap like trained freaking seals. They were worried about authoritarianism at one moment, and now they're just authoritarian trained seals. That is exactly where we're at. And that is what 2023 looks like, guys. I don't know if we can save it, but 2024 is probably looking like our last possible chance. But that's all I got, guys. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. Guys, share this video. People have got to see this.